All right, so ready to put on our detective hats. Today's deep dive is going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah, I love a good mystery. What are we like, cracking a secret code or something?
Kind of. We're looking at Reddit comments,
Great.
trying to figure out what someone's life is like, all from what they post online.
It's really kind of scary how much people share online without even thinking about it.
Right. So that's where you come in. You're our expert on all things digital, and today we're looking at Bbbbpm. Never met them, but they sure do have a lot to say on Reddit.
And those comments, even little ones, they can actually tell us a lot about their hobbies, what they care about, even their daily life. You'd be surprised.
So it's like piecing together a puzzle, but with internet comments.
Exactly.
Okay, so where do we even begin? How do we start digging into this BBBBPM character?
Well, you got to go where the action is, right? Look for where they're most active, kind of like gives us some idea of their, I don't know, their digital hangout spot.
Uh-huh.
And for BBBPM, looks like their spot is the R. Wellington subreddit.
Wellington, New Zealand. Okay, so land of beautiful scenery, hobbits,
Mm.
and BBBPM. So what they up to in this subreddit? Just reading, or are they more of a chatterbox?
Oh no, BBBPM is definitely a talker, always chiming in on the local stuff, especially when it comes to recommending places like this Spruce Goose Cafe. They mention it a lot.
Spruce Goose, huh?
Mm.
All right, I think I see where you're going with this. Supporting local businesses, that's got to tell you something about a person.
Right. Like it's giving us a glimpse into their values right away.
And it makes you wonder, like, are they the kind of person who's on a first name basis with the barista? Do they have one of those Keep Wellington weird bumper stickers?
I see, now you're asking the important questions, and we might actually find some clues about that. For example, BBBBPM had something to say about the least bogan places in New Zealand.
For those of us who don't speak Kiwi,
Hmm.
Bogan is kind of their version of, well, let's just say not exactly known for their refined taste.
Yeah, exactly. And BBBPM very clearly does not identify with that. Described Wellington as pretty non-bogany, even gave this whole itinerary of places to back it up. Vintage clothing stores, indie music venues. We're getting a certain vibe, aren't we?
Totally. This isn't just someone who lives in Wellington. It's a certain type of Wellingtonian, someone who likes the unique, the independent, the non-bogany, like you
Yeah.
said. It's like they're making a guidebook to their ideal version of the city.
Exactly. And it tells us so much more than just they live in Wellington, right? They're part of the city, or at least the part they choose to be part of.
All right, so we've got BBBBPM, the Wellington enthusiast, loves local stuff, non-bogany all the way. What other clues are they leaving out there in the digital world?
So looks like our non-bogany friend is also a big rugby fan.
No way, really. Okay, now that's interesting. What kind of stuff are they saying, though? Like casual fan or more like they could coach a team?
Oh, way more than just casual. BBB gets into the nitty-gritty, you know? Player stats, bad calls by the ref, even these really obscure rugby history facts. Like, remember Colin Meads, the All Black?
Meads? Yeah, I think I've heard the name.
Well, BBBPM told this whole story about him. Apparently, grabbed another player's leg so hard during a tackle, ripped the hamstring right off the bone.
Oh, wow. Ouch. Okay, yeah, that's hardcore rugby knowledge right there. Not just knowing the game, but like the deep cuts.
Exactly. And it gets even better. They've also got comments about South African rugby, players like Rassie Erasmus, even these things called battle stats, which apparently only the real rugby nerds even track.
Okay, you lost me at battle stats. But the point is, this is a serious rugby fan we're dealing with here.
Big time. And remember, this is just what they're putting out there publicly, right? Imagine the conversations they must be having offline, maybe with their buddies or at the pub. It's a whole other side of their life we're just getting a peek at.
It really is. And this whole time, no profile picture, nothing. It's like we're piecing together clues from thin air, but it's actually working.
And here's the thing. These clues, they don't just tell us what they're into, but also, like, their values, how they see things. Remember that comment about their daughter's Doogie phone?
The budget smartphone. Yeah, that one definitely stood out.
Right. So CB Tira tells us they're a parent, which adds a whole other dimension. But also, maybe they're careful with money. Believe in practical stuff over fancy brands.
Or maybe they're just trying to teach their kid that you don't need the latest gadget to be cool, which, let's be real, every parent struggles with that.
Oh, tell me about it. It's so relatable. And suddenly, BBBPM feels way more like an actual person, not just some random username.
Right. And it makes you think, what kind of parent are they? Are they the fun one, dragging their kid on adventures all over Wellington? Or more like stay-at-home baking while their kid's on their Doogie phone?
See, these are the questions that keep me up at night. Okay, maybe not up at night, but you get my point. We're starting to see the real person behind these posts. Who knows what else we might find?
This is honestly way more interesting than I thought it'd be. Bbbbpm, the non-Bogany Wellingtonian rugby fanatic, probably a parent who's all about practicality. And we got all that from just, what, a few Reddit comments?
Really makes you think, huh? What would our online stuff make people think about us?
Yeah, exactly. Started out trying to figure out someone else. Now I'm suddenly thinking about all the stuff I've posted online.
That's what I love about these deep dives. You never know what you'll find out about yourself along the way.
So we've learned a lot about BBBPM, but there are still some mysteries, right? What do you think? Any clues we've missed? Anything we could use to dig even deeper?
Well, there was that one comment about a work from home thing they mentioned.
Oh, right. They were being kind of vague about it, though.
Yeah, they were. Seemed happy to talk more, even said something like, hit me up to anyone who's interested.
Interesting. But we don't really know what it is. Freelancing. Something with computers. Remember that comment about wanting their project to sound Kiwi as I?
Yeah, that's right. Definitely tells us they know their way around the internet. And that whole hit me up thing, it's like they're comfortable mixing their online life with their real life. Which, I mean, that's pretty normal these days.
True. But it still leaves us hanging. What does BBBPM actually do for a living? What makes them tick? What's their stance on, like, pineapple on pizza? The big questions.
That's the thing about this kind of detective work. We can guess, we can connect the dots, but there are always going to be some blanks we can't fill in.
Like we've read the first chapter of their story, but now we're dying to know what happens next.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not about figuring out everything about BBBBPM, but just realizing that everyone leaves a trail online, and it's not always the whole story.
I like that. It's bigger than just this one person. It's about all of us. Every time we click something, write a comment, we're leaving a little piece of ourselves behind.
Exactly. And it's on us to decide how we feel about that. Do we hide it? Embrace it? What do you want people to see when they look at our digital footprint?
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of BBBPM, we're left with some big questions, a little mystery, and a whole lot to think about, that's for sure.
Who knows? Maybe BBBPM is listening right now, getting a kick out of all this.
Right. Well,